Are you a UAE resident who is currently stuck outside of the United Arab Emirates? Or are you a visitor who'd like to be rejoined with family? Or are you a tourist who just like to behold the beauty of United Arab Emirates? If your answer was yes to any of the questions above, then you may consider staying and watching the entire bulletin. We interrupt your regular program to bring you a very important update on a question that has been frequently asked and is quite pressing, especially who have been stuck outside United Arab Emirates for almost the fourth month now. Your answers are right in this bulletin. This is QTV by Liz and Joe. This 22nd of June 2020, we bring you this interrupted episode basing on the urgency of this information. So tune in with us. I am your presenter, Elizabeth Njoga. The Middle East immigration news flash for 2020, that is United Arab Emirates special regulations for travel issued by the United Arab Emirates authorities and was issued on the June 2020. Executive summary issued by the Ministry of Health and Prevention and the General Civil Aviation Authorities issued special regulation that citizens and the residents of the United Arab Emirates must follow when they're traveling back from abroad. The international travel select destinations will be allowed under some regulations or conditions starting the 23rd of June, which will be tomorrow. The Ministry of Health and Prevention and the General Civil Aviation Authority issued special regulations for citizens and the residents of the United Arab Emirates to follow when they are coming from abroad. International travel was from select 56 destinations that will be allowed under certain conditions starting tomorrow, that is the June the 23rd of 2020, in and out of United Arab Emirates. We'll look at the destination countries. The international travel will initially be allowed into 56 destinations on countries categorized as Group A and Group B, whereby they will be based on the risk of infections. Group A will be countries with a low risk of infections with no restrictions to travel currently, and Group B will be under some jurisdictions with some medium risk of infection, where travel is allowed only for certain categories of people or individuals. No travel will be allowed to countries outside of the Group A and Group B, at least in the meantime, unless otherwise approved by the authorities of the United Arab Emirates, and the list is being revised on a weekly basis. Now, Group A will include countries like Australia, Czech Republic, Lithuania, South Korea, Austria, Fiji, Luxembourg, Seychelles, Bahamas, Malaysia, Finland, Slovakia, Georgia, and a few other countries, which we will be including a shot here on the screen, and there will be others like Bosnia, Hong Kong, Malta, Switzerland, Brunei, Hungary, Mauritius, Bulgaria, Montenegro, New Zealand, Tunisia, Singapore, Jordan, amongst other countries that we will surely include the list of, we will make the list available for you right here on the screen. Yes, that is the list, so you may forward this to the people who need it. And now the Group B that will have a few jurisdictions are countries like Belgium, France, the Netherlands, Slovenia, Canada, Germany, Oman, Tanzania, Denmark, Estonia, Kuwait, Poland, and a few other countries, of which we will be including the list here with as well. Categories for travel will be both for foreign nationals and the UAE citizens. The foreign nationals, that being residents here who hold a resident visa, they will be allowed to travel in and out of the countries that have just been listed previously in Category A and Category B. However, the travel to countries in Group B will be limited to a few categories, which we are going to list here shortly. Now, one will be travelers departing for treatment at their own expense after providing a certified medical certificate. 2, there will be members of the diplomatic missions, but only if required to travel at such a time as this. The other group of people who will be allowed to travel will be for purposes of emergency, including birth or death if required, only if required, and will be subject to approval. And there will be also a group of people attending conferences and other humanitarian missions, and only if required, of which there will be justification required by the UAE authorities before they let such people travel. Another set of people will be military personnel, again if only required. To travel for business, tourism, study is not allowed, especially to countries in Group B, which is just a few that we are going to add again on the screen. And individuals who are above 70 years who suffer any kind of chronic diseases are not permitted to travel whatsoever, regardless of the destination, at least in the meantime. Now, the departure requirements. All travelers must verify the entry requirements applicable in their country of destination, that is applicable to the UAE residents and the UAE nationals, and they must in an exit permit. This is made mandatory for everyone, while the nationals must register with the Ministry of Interior and for international cooperation, and they must go to Tawajudi portal for traveling. Tawajudi portal has been made available for all the nationals of UAE, while the foreigners who have their residency here in the UAE must give an exit permit that is obtainable if you go through your company, or is available online for those who are not under any sponsorship. Right. All individuals must complete a health declaration form, acknowledge that they will be subject to a quarantine upon arrival, and that they will travel to no any other country apart from the country that they have declared on the form. Basically means you cannot travel to any other, you cannot travel to 2 countries, must be 1 country and back. Now, what are the requirements for arriving inside UAE? You must download the Al Hosn app and make it available, and check the declaration, of which you must be tested before you can come inside the United Arab Emirates. As well as those who have been in contact with persons infected by the COVID-19, they will be subject to mandatory COVID-19 test upon arrival. All travelers must complete upon arrival a card which will be collected upon entry, and they will be subject to monitoring at least for 14 days. Now we move on to the quarantine requirements. Individuals who enter United Arab Emirates from countries in Group A have to self-quarantine. If you come from any of the 7 countries which are in Group B, you must have a test within 48 hours. And those who are coming from countries in Group B will also be subject to testing and a mandatory 14-day quarantine at home. If the quarantine is not possible for individuals, allowed to quarantine at a government-approved hotel at their own expenses. The QTV is continuously monitoring the situation and will revert with additional information as the developments occur, and all the details on the existing entry permits and the immigration requirements and restriction will be added on our platform as we receive them. Thank you so much for tuning into the QTV. I have been your presenter. My name is Elizabeth Njoga.